Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with Junk Journal January, day number 11, and we are making pockets. So I actually need to make 4 pockets for a project that I'm working on right now, and I need 2 of them to be 6 inches wide, I think, and the other 2 to be 8 inches wide. Let me just double check my measurements here. Ruler. Okay, so let's see. Yes, 6 is one of them. And then let me grab the other book here. I don't want to show them to you because they're part of a secret thing. 6 and 8. Okay, so 6 inches and 8 inches. So these pockets have to have kind of a Goth Victorian kind of feel. Where is my normal ruler? I don't know. Here it is. This is we don't want the homemade tearing ruler for this project right now. We want the metal ruler. So, I'm just going to make a couple of marks here. And these don't have to be huge pockets. They just need to be like the measurement that I need. Now, which side of this is a straight edge? This side has a straight edge. This is a piece of pillow packaging. I'm using it because it's nice and firm. So let's start with our 7 inches. That will be the first one, and we can go maybe here. Where do I want it? How tall do I want it to be? Maybe about here. So I'll just kind of draw a bit of a line how I want that to go. Not that far. Okay. 1, and then up here again, 7 inches, and this has to go the opposite direction. So this one will come down like this. And that's about good. Doesn't have to be exact. I want them to have slightly an irregular like shape anyways. So here's my 6 inches here. Do the 6-inch ones now. Actually, I need that to come down a little more. That should go a little higher, a little sooner maybe. Yeah, that's better. If this is confusing right now, don't worry, it's going to make sense, I promise. 6 inches. Okay, and we need this one to go the opposite direction, so let's just drag this along here, bring this up, and then again create kind of our freeform shape. There we go. So now we have the 4 pockets, and what I will do is cut along here. These are my 2 7s, and these are my 2 6s. So let's cut out my 6s. Okay, 1. And then my 7s. Oh, no, I want to put on that one. Okay, and then this one. Now we'll just double check our measurements and make sure that they're roughly what I was hoping for. Yep, that's a 7. This one's around a 6.5. I'm fine with that. This one That's a 6.5 and it needs to be a 6. So let's just get a little bit of it off of there. We'll check it again. Yep, we're good. Okay, and then this one. Yep, we're good. Okay. So I have some fabric scraps here that I'm using for part of my project. The next thing that I want to do is cover all these pockets with this. This is a really beautiful, like burgundy, kind of dark burgundy colored velvet fabric. Just gotta get a bit of scrap off of it here. So we will lay this on here because we want it to cover. One. That goes that direction, so this one needs to go this direction because I need them for the inside covers of my project. So there's 2. I'm kind of just hacking at this fabric because I'm not using my fabric scissors. It's okay. This is fine. I don't need this. Like, this fabric is some scraps that I'm using. I used it for the main cover of the book, so this is like the leftovers that I'm using for the other bits and bobs in the book. Okay, so now what I need to do is cover these. So I'm just going to kind of go over them real quick with just a bit of glue stick, and then I need to actually stitch them on because that's going to be a much more effective way of keeping the fabric on the cardboard or poster board. Oh, this is the one that's empty, right? Yes, okay. Let's not use that one. Let's use this one. Let's just give this a quick glue. One down. So that goes this way. Yeah, I should just keep these in front of my face so I see what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah. And this one. Just ignore all the fuzzies. It happens with velvet. I have a lint roller hanging out with me for cleaning it up later. Okay, now this one is going to go this way. And it doesn't matter what side you have showing, like don't be concerned that you can see the advertising. You're not going to see that. It's going to be the back side of the pocket. So what you'll see will be the front side. So that pocket goes that way, then we need the other one to go the other way, meaning I need to, again, glue the white side. I could have glued either side, it doesn't actually matter. As long as you have one going in each direction, which we now do. Okay, so I will go and stitch around all of these and be right back. Okay, so I've stitched around the pockets. I used black thread in both the bobbin and the thread of my machine. So I also tried to stay pretty close to the edge of the the card, and then I'm just going to use my fabric scissors and I'm going to cut around, but I'm going to leave a little tiny bit extra, and I may leave a little more in some spots actually if I want to do some fraying. I'll just set those scraps aside. Just gonna leave a little extra on this one. Okay, 3. Sorry if you can hear my dog whining. He is waiting to go for his dog park adventure. And my husband is just finishing up a couple chores while he waits. And he's an impatient dog. Okay. Okay, so now we have our 4 pockets and a bunch of scrap that I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with, if anything. Alright. So, go ahead and lay these down because now we're going to embellish them. And what I do, I don't know if this is a good organizational tip for everyone, but it works for me. So I have silk flowers in all different colors, and I keep them in plastic bags sorted by color, and then I keep all the greenery in a separate bag so that it's easy for me to find kind of the color of flowers that I might want to use in my projects. So I've also grabbed, because I want this to be kind of like Gothic, you know, I've grabbed a few other flowers and some greenery that I felt like could go with this and still work. So now I just want to go in here and grab some black flowers and some little purple ones, and then anything else like this that I have hanging about, some black leaves. I even have these spiders. I don't know if I could add a spider maybe to one of them. We'll see. I'll keep one out. Couple of those, and then I think I have some like larger, yeah I do, okay, that should be good for now. We'll set this aside. So I think this project primarily is going to be stitching, but I'm just going to show you like sort of how I prep the flowers here. So you have to get rid of all the bulk of the insides of these when you're working with flowers in a journal project, unless you want to have like a really bulky, you know, project. Like if it's going on the outside of a journal, it's probably fine, but if it's on the inside, you don't want all these pieces. So they just go away. So this one, I think, this also kind of gives you the option to then take this all apart and do different things with it, right? So what I'm going to do is just kind of plan each of these out one by one, and then I'll do the stitching. So I like how this webbing looks on here, and I'll probably use this one on the big pocket, and I may add a little bit of greenery because I think that will add some interest. So plunk that under there too. Make sure we can see it though. This is a big, I might put it underneath one layer, but it's not as big as the back layer. There we go. And then just make sure that it peeks out so that we get a little bit of that greenery. So now what I will do is go over to the sewing machine and I will stitch probably in a zigzag across so that I capture everything. So I'll do that and I will come right back. Okay, so I've completed this one. So what I did was I just zigzag stitched over the stem, and I kept my stitching to a very small part inside the flower, made sure I trapped this in, I trapped everything in, but I also didn't want to stitch all the way across with any kind of a line because that would flatten everything out, right? So we've got one pocket done. Then I was thinking about adding some like waist jewelry to one of these. So I have this, and I was thinking it would be really cool on here. So I think I might do that to this one. And I just have to think about how to attach this. I'm thinking Fabri-Tac is probably the best method here, because I don't know that I want to go in with my sewing machine on this because it could be a little dangerous and needle breaking. So let's go ahead and just cut up here and see. Are we going to lose any of this? Sometimes your chain links like connect in a way that you might lose some of it. So this one is fine. I need my Fabri-Tac glue. I'll just set it over here to kind of come down for a moment. And then do I want to, yeah, I think I'll keep that even though that one's a little, maybe I'll remove this one. Will it come out? No, I'll have to cut it. Just because it's a little bit jiggy-jaggy off the side there. Just looks awkward. Okay. okay. The rest of them are fine though. They'll stay together in one piece. So this will be a really sparkly, jewelry kind of pocket. And it will come together with the theme that I'm using, which I can't share that today. But you'll see it in the future if you follow me. Then, I don't know if I want to use jewelry on any of these others. We'll see. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here and basically, let me see where I want to go with this. So I need to glue from about, yeah, okay, sort of that. So I'll just kind of visualize what I need to do here. Just kind of make my mark. Be a little generous with the glue. This one will require a bit more drying time because I am adding a lot of glue, but I need this to stay in place. So thankfully this is a very reliable glue for this kind of project, so I'm not too concerned. And I probably will go around it with a little bit of stitching by hand as well. And I'll show you with what I would use to do that. Okay, let's kind of bring this up. What we have. There we go. Okay. So I have a little extra glue in a couple of places, and I'm actually just going to leave it alone and not touch it. I think that's okay. I'm going to let it dry in that line just as it is. So what I'll do afterward probably is go along with some of this and a needle and probably just stitch through a few times all around the edge to make sure that that stays put. But this one will need some drying time. So its time here is over. So let's do the smaller ones now. Or actually, I think I've done one. Have I done one of each? Yeah, because this is a big one. This was a small one. Yeah, so we've done one of each. So now we have to do one more of each. Okay. So this one, what do I want to do? I think I'll use some of these black leaves, maybe. This up here. And I love these little purple flowers, so I think I will take one of those apart, if it will cooperate. Okay. Maybe add that there. Do we want to try to make use of this spider maybe? How shall I attach this spider? Cut this off and I can get a bit of an idea. It has glitter on it. I think I need to deglitter this. It's too much glitter on there. Deglitter, deglitter. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta strip the glitter off of things so that it doesn't drive you crazy. Make a mess now, not later, right? Alright. Alright, we don't need you all glittery, my friend. So what I might do is plop him down here like this and then zigzag stitch over a couple of his legs. Yeah, I will do that now. Okay, so this one is stitched on. So what I did was I actually ended up trapping one of these under there too because I thought that would just be nice on the pocket. I did a straight stitch on each of these leaves to just hold them down, and then I zigzag stitched across this leg, and this leg. So he is firmly attached. He's not coming off of there. So that pocket I think is done, and I'm going to leave all these threads because I just really think they're great. Let's take a look at this one again and see. Yeah, we can't really do anything else with it. It's still too wet. Now the last one, do I want to do with that? Do I want to add any more jewelry? Maybe a bit of chain with a flower. I kind of like this black chain. So what if we just grab some of it out of this tangle here? Oops. And I somehow have my embroidery thread now adding itself to the mix. So let's grab some of this chain. Cut through it like that. Let's add it there. Maybe a little lower on the pocket so it can kind of hang down. Then to decide what color flower. This one, I just don't think so. I do like this pink. Let's see how this comes apart. Come along now. Oy. Some of these flowers are really hard to get apart. Let's just try to cut this thing off. There we go. Get that little center out of the middle here. There's two of the petals, then this center piece, and one little one, and the last little one. There we go. Okay, so then we can layer those back up again. How does this chain work? Is this just one big tangle here? Yeah, it is, sort of. There we go. Now we have two pieces that we can kind of double over, and I might just lie it on top of the flower and double it up a couple of times. I think I only need one piece of this, like that, and then maybe leaves. Again, the black leaves are really cool. But I'll do them in a different way this time, I think, like that. And then stitch that down right here. Yeah, that'll be cool. And do we want to add another one of these maybe too, because they're just really fun. Yeah, that's nice. Do we want any green maybe? That pick out though, I don't want that piece of wire. Maybe just tuck that under here. Okay, I'm going to zigzag stitch around on here and hopefully not break my needle on this chain. I'll be right back. Alright, so stitching is done, and I also went ahead and just sprayed a little bit of purple alcohol ink on top of the rhinestone jewelry that I've attached to this one. It is still drying. So then what I'm going to do is come back and I'm going to add some stitches here and there throughout this with black stitching to hold this whole thing down. And then I'm going to come around and just clean up where you can see that there's a little extra glue here and there. There's a few options for this. One is that like you can literally peel it right up and off. It will come up and off. You can also use one of these kneaded erasers and come in and it will peel, like it'll ball it, gum it up, and it will come right off. Or I can stitch over it, or you know, I'll just figure it out. That's one of the fun things about junk journaling, is you just sort of figure it out as you go. So I like how the alcohol ink is sitting on top of the rhinestones. I've been kind of rubbing it, you know, rubbing it off to see how much I can get off. Some of it will dry in behind, and I think that the light is kind of picking it up quite cool. So there's that. Toned it down a little bit, not so sparkly as the ones down here. I didn't want the whole thing to be like uniform. And then these three I'm really happy with. I'm happy I got that spider to, you know, stay on there and be attached and not go anywhere. And then I'm happy with these two flower trap kind of things, and this little bit of chain here I think is really fun. So these are going to go really beautifully into my book. I'll show you, maybe just, my cover is still very much in progress, so I'll show you how maybe the little ones look. I can't show you the other piece of this, but I can show you this piece. So here is the cover made from the same fabric, and then these will go in here like so and be kind of you know, quietly hidden pockets there. So that's my project for now. Thank you for hanging out with me on another Junk Journal January. If you're interested in this upcoming secret project, I'll be working on it over the next week or so. It's going to be in the background, but stick around and subscribe for the flip through because it's going to be a fun one. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with more Junk Journal January. Bye for now.